Moreover, the total value of investment in capital markets is over 34 billion Tanzanian shillings, which is around 12 to 15 million US dollars. Tanzania is ready for doing business with UK companies. Looking forward to hear from your side the readiness to participate in value addition in various sectors like agriculture and the other value chain sectors. Happy to learn that you have started engagement on energy. We are placing energy, agriculture in the broad sense with livestock and fisheries and as top priority sectors, agriculture, livestock, and fisheries as productive sectors on one side, and energy as a driver. After we have invested on infrastructure, solid infrastructure, the road networks and the railway, the standard gauge railway, and we look forward to see how we continue improving the energy mix we have. We have potential for both solar energy, wind power in various places, and some developments are going on. However, we are still inviting partners to move together.
In terms of our size today, we're just under just under $11 billion in terms of assets under management. So that's the size of what we are today. I would say the current commitment run rate over the last couple of years has just been over $2 billion per annum, of which Africa is about 60% of that. So that's the scale of capital that we directly invest. But ultimately, I think it's also that capital that mobilizes a lot more capital alongside us. So mobilization is also a key thing, and we have partner investors that we invest in the continent alongside ourselves. In terms of the sectors, so we have three main sectors that we invest in. So infrastructure and climate, which I guess majority of people in this room are. That's about 33% of our portfolio. Financial services, which Jumia is representing, plays a big part of the investments that we do. This is really around banks, fintech, and kind of other financial areas such as trade finance, for example. And then we have what I call a generalist bucket, which is, we call it SMART. So that's service-based industry, manufacturing, food and agriculture, real estate, telecoms, and technology. So these are all the key sectors that we invest in. And I guess by luck or by chance, they're all roughly about a third in terms of the way we distribute our capital across those three verticals. Similarly, in terms of the products, we are probably the largest equity DFI investor, because a lot of the DFIs are very much debt focused. Our portfolio is actually more balanced, where we have a big part of equity because we think equity is quite important, particularly in an African context. We have about 30% of our portfolio is in debt, and then 33% is in intermediate. So again, a fairly good spread. For us, it's really around what's the challenge out there, how do we solve it with the various type of products that we have and the skill sets within the team. All in all, there's a lot that we do at BII across all our sectors, all our products. Africa is a key focus for us. We see a big opportunity in Tanzania. In terms of, so before this meeting, I asked the team to give a printout of our exposure. So as of today, out of our $10 billion or $11 billion assets under management, we have just under 250 million exposure today in Tanzania. 250 million. So I think the opportunity is there for us to do more. But at least it gives you an insight on the exposure we have. And it ranges from agriculture, ETC group, the food and agri group exposed in Tanzania. And forestry, we have a forestry platform, Green Resources, that's in Tanzania. Global Ec with Songas, that's obviously one I've mentioned. Kilombero Valley Trek Company, that's an indirect investment we have. The Trade Development Bank, which is the commercial bank, TBB, we have an exposure there. BRAC Tanzania, we have an exposure there. Silverlands Tanzania Limited, which is integrated farming, we have an exposure there. the DSM Corridor Group, which is through AIM. I think that's the transport infrastructure. So what you can see there is we know Tanzania, but we want to know more about Tanzania in terms of what we can do.